Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered why the man staring back at you is not the man that you dreamt of becoming? I mean, you grind with vigor, with burning ambition, but you still feel like you're not doing enough. That voice in the back of your head is always gnawing at you. Time's running out. What if we don't make it? Motherfucker, I'm gonna make it. Uh-oh. It got your attention, didn't it? You gave that little voice attention in your head. But what if we don't make it? And so, with life's complexities, all of the different hats that you're wearing as a man, striving, fighting, clawing, tooth and nail, to aggrandize yourself in society, you say, fuck, I need a break. I mean, shit, I deserve that much, right? I'm doing more work than most men. I'm ambitious, I'm hustling, I'm doing more than most men. I deserve a break, don't I? Can I get a little break? So you begin to indulge in some of life's pleasures, trivialities, and engulf yourself in frivolous pursuits. You realize you've taken a couple of steps back. But it's okay. I'm ambitious. I'm doing more work than most people. I deserve a little break. You see, you're an ambitious man with no direction. You see, you're doing okay for yourself. You're in decent shape. Probably better shape than most men. But you're not as lean as you know that you could be. You're not in elite performance shape like you know you could be. You're just doing okay. Gentlemen, welcome to mental purgatory for the ambitious man. And if you don't do something, if you don't make a decision by the end of this video, most men never make it out of this abyss. So that being said, gentlemen, in this video, I'm going to tell you guys specifically how to break out of mental purgatory. It's the same way that I was able to break out of my timidity, my insecurities, when I couldn't articulate myself succinctly because I had a speech impediment, when I was living in poverty with an impoverished mindset. In this video, gentlemen, you're going to learn how to not just be an ambitious man that's moving, that's trying to claw his way out of just being an ambitious man, and you're going to convert yourself into an ambitious man that moves through life with precision. So that being said, as I always do, fellas, I really enjoy writing these key points down just to make sure that I touch upon everything for you guys and add as much value as possible. Today we have 4 key points that I wrote down, some notes that I'm going to go through for you guys. And like I said, by the end of this video, you're going to know what your next decision is. So that being said, fellas, let's get started with the video. Okay, so the first thing I wrote down was, what is mental purgatory? Right? From my personal experience, mental purgatory is when your ambition collides with your self-doubt and outdated beliefs. Now, this is an endless loop that most modern men fall victim to. They let their fears and doubts hold them captive to just staying on the block, right? It's comfortable on the block, to just having an okay woman. You know you want an extraordinary woman, right? A stunning woman. It's just having okay friends. You know that your social circle, right, reflects who you are, right? But you can't leave your friends, right? And I'm not saying leave your friends, but you're going to have to get around other high achieving men, right? It's what keeps you not growing and having, an okay life, or worse, having a below average life and accepting it, knowing that you can do more. Furthermore, the second talking point that I wrote down was, what's the cost of staying here? I mean, what is the cost of staying in mental purgatory as a man? More specifically, as an ambitious man. What's the cost of staying in mental purgatory when you have this ambition inside of you and you've clawed and you've grinded and you know you can do so much more? Well, when you don't reach the pinnacle of your version of success, the heights that you know that were deemed for you, what happens is you turn into a bitter, hating ass, bitch ass nigga. Pardon my French, mais je parle un peu de français aussi. Tu dois prendre le contrôle de ton esprit, de ta tête. Life is war, gentlemen. La vida es una guerra. Por si acaso tú no supieras. Pero ¿sabe qué? Déjame darte un consejito, pues, ¿no? Mano, esta vida es una guerra. Pero la batalla más importante es la que luchas en tu propia mente. Y con tal de que ganes esa, pues, mano, serás más libre que nunca. O sea, de hecho, serás más libre que un pájaro que extiende sus alas sobre el océano Atlántico. Bro, you gotta fucking fight. But it's not just about fighting. It's about infrastructure, systems, and precision as a man. You don't lack the hard work. You don't lack the ambition. You're not void of the vigor. Your mind is not free. Mano, para decirlo franco, ¿me oyes? La libertad solo hay en un lugar. La libertad se reside acá, arribita, en la mente. And as long as you don't understand yourself as a man, I don't care how well you're doing for yourself or how well you think you're doing for yourself, you will never break out of the shadows of yourself. Let's ponder on that for a moment. You will never break from under the shadows of yourself until you unlock your mind and you free yourself from this mental purgatory that most men fall victim to. Moving on. So that being said, fellas, I wrote down some actionable steps for you as we move into this third point here, right? So the actionable steps is, how do we take control of our mind and break out of mental purgatory, right? Well, first, as I've always said before, gentlemen, a man has to take the time to ponder. And if you're distracted by life's complexity, whatever it is that you're giving your attention to, right? Okay, you have a job, you work 8 hours or 9 hours, whatever. Okay, you might have a family. You got a lot on your plate, but you got to find pockets in your life to think. You know, they say thinking is one of the hardest things to do. That's why most people don't do it. You'll never be free if you don't think, if you don't ponder. You have to take control of your mind. Once we take the time to ponder, because as men, we need time to ponder to get concise on what we want out of life. You see, as men, we need to move with brevity, and most men haven't the slightest idea of what they actually want, right? And so that being said, once we ponder, we get concise on what we want, we are then able to start the process of building infrastructure in our lives, right? So I have all of my clients, all of my gentlemen in my mentorship do what I created as the Renaissance method. Renaissance means rebirth, right? The etymology means rebirth, to revitalize. And so reshift their self-image to break them out of this mental purgatory. And it is an uncomfortable ride. It is not easy, but we set up infrastructures to anchor their mind, which is a concept that I've spoken about in previous videos, and we reconstruct their self-image. Now, once we get this brevity, right, on what we want, and we set up these systems and infrastructures, right, it would be behooving to you, by the way, to set up these infrastructure. Now, what I mean by this is, this can look like you setting up a Google Calendar on your phone so that you know exactly what you're doing every single day, so that you can do an audit of your life and understand where your time is going. Because I promise you, you have the time. Bitch, you ain't that busy. I'm a very busy man, and I'm still able to get everything that I need to get done. Even if sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming, this is why we detach, right? These are concepts that you're going to become more familiar with as you watch my content in its entirety. I talk about the concepts of anchoring the mind, of detaching from your reality, right? Of setting up systems and infrastructure. Now, let's carry on. Once you're able to do this, you expedite your process of success and self-aggrandizement in this reality. As I've said before, there's two ways, gentlemen, that a man works on himself. What have I said? You work on yourself by working in the 3D and on the 3D, okay? Now, from here, like I said, once you set up the audit of your life and you understand where you're allocating your time, you now start moving like the boss, like the executive that you want to be. right? From here, you start to manage all of the different pillars of your life. Now, the 5 pillars of the Renaissance man lifestyle that I created is first mindset. That's paramount. That's at the zenith. Then it's going to be, health and wellness. Without your health and wellness, there is nothing. Third will be relationships. You have to master this sector of your life. Fourth will be purpose. A man has to find his purpose, right? And typically a man finds his purpose in his pain. And then 5 is the Renaissance, right? This is when we rebirth ourselves and we pour back into ourselves as men, because we have to do so much for the world. But the most important things that you're going to do is for yourself. So yes, you have to be selfish to a certain extent. There's nothing wrong with that, word, selfish, right? To love thyself is to be able to serve to your fullest capacity. Breaking out of mental purgatory is all about dominating all areas of your life and becoming a modern day Renaissance man. It's time to rewrite your own story. And what I mean by this is a lot of our self-limiting beliefs and why we're in mental purgatory and why we don't feel as if we're adequate enough and doing enough and why we don't feel like we're where we need to be. When in reality, many of you have made leaps and bounds, right? And you each have an individualized path and journey. The reason why we feel this way is due to childhood traumas. You see, when I talk about these unsexy topics in this space, a lot of men just like to breeze over it. But no, you see, if you do not address your childhood traumas, these issues are going to fester and permeate into all the different areas and pillars of your life, the ones that I just explained. It's going to manifest in your relationships. It's going to manifest in your work, in your leadership, right? How you move as a man. You need to do this visceral spiritual work before you can aggrandize yourself. Better yet, before you can augment yourself in this reality. You see? So the way I see it is from this point right now that you understand how to break out of mental purgatory, I didn't want to make this video too long. Now that you understand that you have to ponder, you have to take the time to figure yourself out, move with precision, move with brevity, and set up infrastructures by doing an audit on your life as a man and being honest of where you're spending your time so that you can set up infrastructure and systems to move in alignment with the man you say you want to be and take the actions that you know you need to take in order to become the man that you need to be, and not just be an ambitious man who lacks direction, rather an ambitious man who's moving with precision and slicing through life. Now that you know all of this, you really only have 2 decisions from this point. The first decision is you can continue to watch other content creators in the space. You can continue to watch me and try to do this on your own. You have all the information. Maybe you get a little bit better. You implement some of this knowledge and, you try to figure it out on your own. Maybe you just, stay the same for the next 6 months. Or the second decision is you push that first link that's pinned in the comment section or my description, and you apply to work with me. And if you qualify, you'll be able to book a call with me directly or somebody on my team. And from there, we'll determine if it's a good fit for you and I to work together and expedite your process to becoming the exact man that you know you need to be. Now, I don't work with everybody. I've been candid from the beginning. This is profound spiritual work. It's going to make you uncomfortable. My mentorship is not for everybody. That being said, those are your 2 decisions. What you do makes no difference to me. Ultimately, you know if you seriously want this shit or if you're just another mental masturbator. Gentlemen, salute. I'll see you guys in the next video.
When the truth don't work, you start telling lies. Thought you were down to ride, you weren't down to ride. Caught switching, you were picking sides. Don't blink, caught slipping like a slip and slide. I was shooting dice till I got a nosebleed. Money on the floor, can't get cold feet. Took an L, should've put it in the offering. Lord, forgive me for my sins, don't know of me.